So once I switch on the live, we will start. Okay? Right. Better if you all can rename yourself, guys. So if it is Fatima, put your Fatima full name. Better. Rename. Rename in your this thing, okay? So those who haven't renamed themselves will be removed, okay? All right. We have to start by right now. So today we have the quiz as well. We have the quiz. We have the this thing also. All right, let's start. Yeah. Today we will be doing the lesson Zakat. Before that, some of them asked me to show the student planner. So I have to just explain you regarding the student planner so we can do it, right? Okay. So how are you all after a long time? I hope you all are doing great. I thought of not to come up with the option where I'm going to have a face-to-face live session for some reasons because I don't know. There are some people in my groups. I don't know. They are trying to like coming with a different name. speaking with vulgar names, like they are putting with vulgar comments and all the stuff. So for that purpose I could not do it, because there are people who wants to bring someone down in a very bad way. They don't even respect it as a teacher, so I don't want that to happen. So because of that, I have brought a new option, that is registration to find the black sheep. So almost that black sheep was there in this meeting with some other symbols, and was trying to come up with different name, and then yeah, finally removed and reported. Right. So right. Okay, sure, Hafsa, no problem. Right. Okay, so some people ask me regarding the student planner. So before we start up with the Zakat lesson, I'll show you a glimpse of my student planner. So if in case if you want the student planner, so you can get an idea how to use them and all. So I'll just show you how my student planner that I have curated, right? So right, so this is the student planner that I have curated. So the main reason I curated this student planner, most of my students ask me that how I manage my time, how I do certain stuffs and all those things. For that purpose, I curated my own student planner as a gift for my theory students, to give them as a Children's Day gift. So it took me about 6 months to curate and all the stuff, just because they wanted to focus on all 9 subjects to get an A. Right. So let's get into our student planner. So here in the student planner, I have given the first page, their name, student ID, institution, grade, they can write it down. And then I have given the two academic year, two academic year, so they can go through those calendars. And then I have given them a part where they can write their list of subjects, teachers, lectures they are going on, and then some extracurricular activities or teams or societies they are in, so they can write those things. And then I have given their goals. So I have given 6 goals. 3 goals are already written by me, and 3 goals are already given as a blank space where you have to fill your top priorities, right? So here, subjects to focus more and improve yourself, so you can focus more on the subject and how I plan on achieving. So always remember, when you start up a plan, you should know how to execute that plan as well. So next thing is right. Okay. So next one is academic awards, right? So academic awards was, what was the next thing? So academic awards was regarding the like you should have kind of a goal, like what are the academic awards you should have. So those things you should have, right? Then extracurricular activities and how I planning on achieving this. So I have given some blank spaces, and here goal number 4, 5, and 6 are blank spaces. So you can write your own goals that you wanted to do. Then I have given your bucket list. Say, for example, this year you wanted to buy an iPhone. So like that, you have some bucket list now. So I have given you 15 spaces there. So you can write those bucket list. Every morning you can open that bucket list and see and work hard for it. And you can tick it down, whatever the bucket list that you have done. Then I have given your address book. So what is the address book is, in case if you don't have a phone, especially your parents, there are students who doesn't have phone, so they can write their friend name, phone number, important people's number. So I have given a logbook there. Then I have given a school calendar for my students. So school calendar is about like what are the important dates in your school. You can mark it down. So you are a prefect, prefect assembly, meeting, those things. You can write it shortly. You can highlight the important dates of the year and you can write it down, right? So it is according to you. You have to plan. Then I have given your schedule according to your semester 1, semester 2, semester 3. That means first term, second term, third term. So when is the start date? When is the end date? What is the time? You can plan your study timings and all the stuffs in this according to your semester. Then I have given a reading log where you can read any books and write the title as a memory. You can write that down. And then I have given a monthly view where you can write any important notes, your current month, say November. So my focus for this month, what are you going to focus? What are you going to do? So those things only you can write it in this column. And this column is what are the changes that you are going to bring it in this month, and what are you going to do with that. So you can just fill the columns for Monday. What are the things that you're going to do? And then I have given you some space where you can write any motivational quotes or anything that you really like to do. So you can write them in the monthly view. So I have given you 12-month view, which means a whole, it will cover the whole year. Whole academic year will be covered. Then not only for month, I have given the week also. I have given the week. So this is the weekly view. I have given weekly view. So here from what day to what day is the week for you? Day, month, year. This week I am grateful for. So you can write, I am grateful for this month because of this. So you can write, because this day I met my friends, I went to my friend's home, like that you can write. What are the assignments to be done in this week? Say studying periodic table this month. What is the due date? Giving dictation. I'm just telling you as an example. So you have some assignments to be done within the week. No, that can be given by your class or it can be given by your school. So you can write down the due date. So therefore you would not forget what are your tasks to be done within a week. Then to-do list on Monday. So I have given for a week. To-do list on Monday. So what are you supposed to do on Monday? To-do list. Monday, you know what are the top lists you have to do. So say for example, today praying, then doing these things, helping parents, doing sweeping the house, like that you can do to-do list. Not only studies, even you can plan your daily routine. So some notes according to that: due today, study today, today's emoji, whether you are sad or happy or anything. So that is going to be today's an emoji. Remember to hydrate. So you know that you are supposed to take 8 glasses of water for a day. No? So if you have done one, then color it with blue color. You can color, you can do something, whatever you want, or you can tick it out. So that is the weekly planner. I have given the weekly planner also. Then I have given an empty space where you can get the notes. Say, for example, like you have seen in YouTube, they do journalism and all. No, they paste stickers, they put colors, they do colorings. So those things can be written, and you can write what is the favorite month of this month out of 12 months. Which is the favorite month? You can write why is that, and what is your accomplishments for this month. Accomplishment means what are you going to do in next set of days, in that, like that. And then you will be having some kind of a empty space. Whatever you wanted to do, you can do something creative. And quote of this month, the quote has to be written by you, not by the Google or anything else. So you can better create your own quote. And for the next month, what is your motivation, right? The next thing is assessment tracker. I have given the assessment tracker, means your monthly test, your term paper, or whatever the track. You can write subject, what is the assessment title, date, done, what is your grade, A or B or C. Even you can write your exact marks can be written, and you can track your improvement. You can track your improvement. Then I have given you a study plan. For what are you going to study? What is your goal? Say, for example, you are going to study science. So your goal is to what? So your goal is to get the, what do you say? Your goal is to achieve A in science. So what is the wake up time? What is the sleep time? What are the important days? How many days left? What are your top priorities? Topics to be covered. And 6 o'clock, what are you going to do? 7 o'clock, what are you going to do? So I have given my kind of a timetable to you. And study plan, tick it out. If you have done with that, stick it. In case if it is cancelled, you can mark with red, delayed, mark with green, done, mark with pink. So you can do according to your wish. So that is going to be the study plan. So then after the study plan, I have given a fitness planner also. That means not everyone does the fitness. No. So what are the fitness? Not only going for the gym, doing gardening, doing some hobby, running, walking, driving, or kind of a thing. We can take it as a fitness. Or sweeping your homes also, we can take a fitness. So you can say what time to what time you did, repeating. So this should be a habit where you can improve yourself, like you become a disciplined person. So I have given a fitness planner also in it. And then accordingly, last part is going to be the important one. I have given an exam planner, so you can plan it accordingly. So your class, module, exam date, topics to be covered, to do. Say, for example, by heart the periodic table, go through the Islam past paper, like that. You can write the date, when are you going to do. If you have done, correct, tick it. What is the remarks is, in case if you forget something in that particular part, you can write it down. Next day when you open and see, I forgot to buy had the periodic table. It will remind you to do it. Did you understand? The next one is exam planner. Okay, so next one is exam planner. So that's it about the book. So this is the book that I have given to my students. And if you're really interested to wanted to become a disciplined person and wanted to maintain your time and your schedules, you all can purchase this. If you really wanted, this can be 1900 only. So if you really wanted, you can purchase this. So if you are very dedicated in the subjects or free classes, or if you're supporting throughout, I will note it down. I would definitely give one of them to my students who most supporting people, as well as the person who join the class regularly, right? So apart from that, you can get this if you really need it, right? So that is about the student planner. Most of them asked me, so I just wanted to give an introduction about it. So apart from that, all done. Clear? So do you love the way of I have arranged the planner? Just a comment from you. Oh, that's great. Okay, so that's great. Okay, thanks a lot for your support. So that is how I plan during my O-level times, and I have done some addition, like editing to that as well for my students to be given. Right. Shall we go to the lesson right now? Please make sure I will be like clearing your doubts after I explain certain important points, right? Okay, so let's go to the lesson Zakat today. So let me explain you very simply, like I'll give you something like an overview. As a 10 point, I'm going to teach you the lesson Zakat like in a short way, in the form of 10 point, right? Now listen to me. So in between, if you have any doubts, I'll ask at the end. For now, just look and focus, you would understand. So we are going to study called Zakat. So we are going to study Zakat. Now, when you talk about Zakat, I really wanted to remember you like this. Now, whenever I'm studying about something, I always keep a keyword like how I remember these and what are the things that I have to do. So many keywords I used to keep it. So that keyword is Zakat means I used to remember it as a gift. I used to remember it as a gift. So zakat is like sharing gift with people who don't have as much as we do. Say you have a friend. Say you have a friend. Imagine this is you. You have a school bag. That means you have two school bags, but your friend doesn't have any. So that means you are sharing something what you have extra to the person who doesn't have. That you call it as zakat, right? So it is something Muslims do to make sure everyone has what they need and no one feels left out. That means now the person who doesn't have this school bag, now once you have given, how does he feel? He feels he's very kind, he's so lovable, I'm proud to be a Muslim. So Allah asks you to share what you have extra just to make them feel happy. Not only that, now, if I talk about the point number one as a zakat, what is zakat? Zakat means you are giving a small part of what you own to help. No, so you are giving a small part of what you have, that is belongs to you, to help the people who are poor or they are in need. So that is you call it as zakat. So now that is one of the important role as a Muslim because it makes Allah happy. Did you understand my point number one? As a zakat, what is a zakat? Did you understand? Right, great. Now listen. Second point. Now some people ask, why do we give zakat? Why do we give zakat? So some people ask, like they can ask me, teacher, okay, we know what is zakat. Oh, zakat is giving like a gift who doesn't have, but Allah really love who pays zakat. No. So now when you talk about zakat, why do we give it? Like when do we give it? So now why do we give it is the question is, now when you give something to the people, now say imagine when we give it, now say you are helping the people with food, you are helping the people with clothes and money, they need no. So it teaches us to care for others and makes our heart kind. That means, what do you understand? So when you give something, now say you had 2 school bags, you gave one of the school bag to your friend. When you understand your friend doesn't have one, so your friend will be more grateful to you, and you will be more grateful to Allah, and you will say, Alhamdulillah, I have two, I have given one. So when you have two and you have given one, your heart becomes more pure. It becomes more pure. Did you understand? Did you understand? Clear with that? So, in my third point, now I'm just giving us a overall part. Later, I will detailedly I'll explain you. So, what is the third point is, you can ask, okay, teacher, now we know what is the zakat. We know why do we need to give zakat. Third one, you can ask me, who receives zakat? Who will get that zakat? So, you should understand that zakat is given to the people who don't have enough money, and like people like orphans, the people who lot of debt. You know, the people who have lot of debt, how much they are suffering even to eat, they don't have peace, or those who are traveling, or they are in need. So those people will receive the zakat. Now you may ask me, they have a specific name, right? Yes, I'll come to that later. So that is my third point, how I learned zakat. Fourth point is, you can ask me, how much do we give zakat? So usually you may ask me, how much do we give zakat? So usually Muslims, okay, usually we all give 2.5 percentage of their savings or your special wealth once a year. That means once every year a part of your wealth has to be given, which is 2.5. So some people ask me, I don't know to calculate what is that 2.5. Shall I explain you in very detail? I mean, like a baby. Imagine you have 100 candies. Say you have 100 candies. Or say toffees, you have 100 toffees. You give 2.5 candies away to 2.5 candies away to the those who need them the most. Now that means you're not even giving half of your wealth, you're just giving up like a sprinkle of your wealth. So that's the reason they say 2.5%. So if you don't give that, you become a sinner. You can't even give what Allah has given you, a part of that. Allah has given you 100%, but you cannot give a part of that. How sinful you are. So that's the reason Allah doesn't want anyone to be separated as poor, you are rich. So He wanted everyone to be treated equally. So the people who have wealth are supposed to be given zakat, which means a 2.5 percentage of nisab once every year. So as I told you, if you have 100 candies, 2.5 of candies has to be given to the people who need. Understood? So that is the fourth point, how I remember zakat. Then fifth point. Then if I wanted to talk about the fifth point, so now you may ask me, why do we need to give zakat? I mean, like, what do you get? What do you get by giving zakat? So you know that when you share something to someone who doesn't have, what is their feeling? What do you think? They become happy, no? So sharing makes everyone happy. So giving zakat not only help others, but it also makes us feel happy, thankful for what we have. We are being happy. Why? Allah has given me this, but that person doesn't have. But because of Allah, with the Allah's blessings, I'm helping someone, means you have to be very grateful, dear. So that is the fifth point, how I remember zakat. Clear with that? Understood that? Got the idea? Then as a sixth point, how do I remember zakat? Now you may think, okay, what is the exact definition for zakat? You may take that. Now zakat is a pillar in Islam. It is a pillar. That means we know. So it is a pillar in Islam, which is very important. And we know that why do we need to give zakat? Zakat will reduce the poverty among the people. And also zakat purifies our wealth. No, just like we wash our hand to make them clean, when you give zakat, it cleans our money. It reminds us that all we have is from Allah. Allah is the one who gives you. Allah is telling you to give. Say, I'm giving you a item. Now this item has to be given to someone else. So I tell you that, okay dear, you give to that person, I will give you more than what you have given. So that is Allah. So Allah will make us remember us. Like, what you need to understand now, it reminds us that we all came from Allah, and sharing makes us blessed. So that is the sixth point that we remember about the zakat. Then the seventh one. Now, when you talk about seventh month, so what do you need to understand about the zakat? Now, we know everyone can give zakat. So even if someone doesn't have much, sharing a small amount makes a big difference. No, so it's not just for adults. Even kids also help their families give zakat by learning, sharing what they can. Now, think everyone thinking, if you have money only, you can give zakat. Not like that, dear. By studying, making your parents proud, by making your elder people proud, or you are helping them. So this is something that you're doing it as a charity. Do you understand? Right. Now, eighth one is, you know very well that we know that the zakat is a pillar of Islam. So just like a house needs a strong pillar to stand, Muslim have five pillars of Islam. So we Muslims have five pillars of Islam, and zakat is one of them. So you know very well, this shows it's very important in helping people and pleasing Allah. So zakat is something that you have to please Allah, right? Okay, the ninth point. Ninth point. So how do we remember the ninth point? So we remember that it makes the community strong. No, how do we become strong? Just an example, how a zakat will make us strong as a community. We all are living in a community, no? So when we help others, our community becomes happier, stronger. And also it teaches us to look out for, like, no, we create love, no, we create love among others. Now imagine, I'm helping you in a way of teaching you. So you become happy and you get score, you get high score in your school. That means you become grateful, you become happy towards me, you love me so much. So a kind of thing will be created, a bond will be created among us when we pay zakat. Did you understand? Clear with that? And also it will teaches us gratitude. So always remember, when you give zakat, it helps us to remember how lucky we are, right? So we always have to say alhamdulillah when we can pay someone and when we can help someone out. Did you understand? Clear with that? So those are the 10 points how I remember zakat. Clear with that? Understood that? Got the idea? Right? Is it azan? Is it Hazan? Okay, it's over, right? Right. Okay. So now let's come to the way of learning zakat. Now already I told you 10 points. This is how I remember. This is how I remember zakat. Now let's come in detail about the zakat. Let's talk about in detail about zakat. So now when you talk about zakat, now what is your opinion? What is the definition of zakat? We can say purifies one's wealth, developing one's wealth. Also, we know that now we understand whenever we pay zakat, we understand Allah has blessed with the wealth to give a particular portion. No, now say Allah give you 100 rupees, that means a part of 100 has to be given to the poor. So that is how Allah teaches us to become kind and show love towards our peers. No, so now when you talk about zakat, now you need to understand, when you pay zakat, you obtain pleasure from Allah as well. You obtain pleasure from Allah. And not only that, what do you think about? What do you think about? Yeah, I will send the recordings, no worries. Okay, so now zakat is one of the important and basic compulsory condition that every Muslim has to possess, right? So zakat is very important. You should know very well about it, right? Now Allah will, now say, imagine there is a person who doesn't wanted to pay zakat. That means he is getting scared, that he's being afraid that he would lose his wealth if he pays zakat. That means there are people, you have 6 oranges, you will feel, today if I give 1 orange, I feel like I have 5 oranges. No. So he doesn't like that to be given. So Allah said, that means Prophet has said that Allah will curse the people with, like, what he will make that particular family cause with poverty. So that people will be caused by the poverty if they don't pay with the zakat. So you need to understand, a part of your wealth, a part means a very small part of your wealth has to be paid as a zakat. Did you understand? Did you understand? So in also there is the hadith that is by the Hakim. So it says that if the nation does not pay zakat, Allah will not send rain. What does the rain stands for? So when you talk about rain, what do you mean by rain? So we call rain as a blessing. So if you don't pay zakat, there is no blessings to you. Did you understand? And also, what are the benefits of paying zakat? So what are the benefits of zakat? I wanted to listen from you. What are the benefits of zakat you have? So you know that your heart will become pure, you will be prevented from greed, you will purify the soul, you will be saved from the poverty. When you give something, always remember you will not lose. You will gain more than what you have given. So that is, you call it as sacrificing, no? Then you will be bringing joy, peace in the heart, unity among the people. Very good. So this will increase the wealth among the Muslims, no? So, and also you will be feeling love, unity amongst the community, as well as what else? You will have a balance. You will not have any rich and poor. You will not have any difference between people like rich and poor. So this will reduce the amount of crime. Now say I have more wealth and there is a person who doesn't have. So if I don't give him, what he will try to do? He will try to steal or rob at my house. That means crimes will increase when we don't pay zakat. So zakat can prevent the crime that can be raised in future. Did you understand? Clear with that? So you will have a peaceful society among us when you pay zakat. Clear with that? Understood that? Got the idea? So in the early days, during the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, during his time, what happened, he used to send people like caliphs. He used to send caliphs and kind of his kinds of friends. He used to send these peoples and to ask them to collect zakat from the rich. He asked them to collect the zakat from the rich and he will ask them to distribute it among the poor. So that those days, Prophet used to take responsibility and he does it. So now later, Prophet asked each and every Muslim, it is compulsory to be paid zakat among the people. So that what is the reason? One reason, he doesn't want he doesn't want the people to feel poverty. He doesn't want to have the difference among the Muslims like rich and poor, and there will be so many disputes can cause if they have a problem like rich and poor. What will happen? Poor will come and rob at rich, the rich will come and do something, so that can increase the rate of crime. For that purpose, what did they do? They told each and every Muslim who has own wealth has to pay the zakat to the poor. Clear with that? Understood that? So say for example, if what are the benefits of collecting zakat? So there are people who collect zakat in Sri Lanka. Also there is a kind of a community, they collect zakat and they give to the different set of like rural area. They used to go to those places and they used to give it to them and they distribute it. There are trustable communities are there. So what do you think? What do you think of collecting zakat? What is the benefit? They will be protect the rich from being what? Forgetful, no? So now imagine a poor will not be neglected. No, you are poor, you should not come to our sahan. You are not supposed to come. There are people I have seen. If I go to a place, they like because they are poor, they will try to isolate them. They will not take closer, or they don't have a proper uniform. There are students like that also. They bully the poor students. There are like that. So always Allah wants every of his movements to be deserving. Like you have to make, like he wants to make everyone are deserving to receive the wealth equally. And also he wants to make us to understand zakat is something given by Allah, and whatever the properties that is given by Allah is belong to Allah. Nothing is ours. So I can't say this is my house and then I could not take anyone. I can say this is my house, but I could not tell that house is belong to me forever. This is belong to Allah. Whatever the things that is given to me is given by Allah. Allah has the rights to tell us to give a part of it. Did you understand? So that means if you don't pay zakat, what do you need to understand? That means you disrespect Allah. You doesn't listen to him. So Allah will get anger on you. He will curse. So your family will come into a trouble. So he doesn't want that to happen. So he has already given the warnings to pay the zakat. Understood? Clear with that? Got the idea? So that is about Zoom link. That means you mean the recordings. Yeah, I will send the recordings. That means the recordings will be there in the YouTube. So you can just take the Knowledge Planet recording. If you can type Knowledge Planet recording, so you will get all the recordings, whatever the recordings you need. Right. So then what happens is, so now when you talk about zakat, now there are a set of rules that you have to follow to pay the zakat. Okay, right? No problem, Mariam. Take care. So now what happens is there are rules regarding the zakat, and you need to implement it to become pure and to become blessed, right? So you need to understand to whom you should give zakat. Okay, I know already you may have studied this lesson. So now tell me, 8 groups. Okay, so now how many people are supposed, now what are the types of people they are supposed to receive the zakat? Supposed to receive the zakat. He should be what? He should be a Muslim. First of all, always remember the person who has to receive the zakat should be Muslim. Say, I am going and giving to a non-Muslim. Is it possible? Will it be valid? No. So I am supposed to give it to a Muslim. I'm supposed to give to a Muslim. And can I give it to a slave? I mean, like, can I go to a place and give? That person could not even take use of that? No, I could not give to a slave. I should give to a free man. I'm supposed to give to a free man, and I should give to a person who is with death, or they are facing poverty, or if they are facing poverty, right? Yes, the widows, very good. Even widows can get them, right? Then who else? Who else can get it? Yes, travelers. Right. Okay. Now imagine, before we come to that, now what are the things we have to consider when we give zakat? One thing is, now I am going to give the zakat. I should be a Muslim. I should be a free man. And this, now say I take someone's wealth and can I give zakat? No, that wealth should be belong to me. That wealth should be belong to me. That should be belong to me. That for a 12 months, 12 lunar month. Free man means I should not be a slave of anyone. I should have my own property. Right? Then what you need to understand is I have to always give the zakat with the measurement of the nisab by 2.5 percentage of my wealth has to be given as a nisab for a 12 lunar months. Right? And also always remember, it can be a gold, or it can be a jewelry or merchandise, or it can be anything that should belong to me for whole 1 year. Then only I can give it as a zakat. For everything 2.5% only. For everything I have to give 2.5% only. Listen, now what happens is, so now you should understand what are the two files of zakat. So two files is always you have to make a niyat, and then you have to go according to what? According to the nisab. So every year 2.5 amount of wealth must be given to the poor. Right. So what are the items that we can give it as a zakat? What are the items that we can give as a zakat? Have you seen that your parents have given zakat? I should ask this, no? So you are supposed to see. You should have seen, okay? So you should see and you should learn what your parents does, because your parents are your best examples that is in your home, no? So we can give money, we can give animals. Now say if you have a farm, you can give animals. You can give grains. You can give jewelry. Jewelry means it can come under gold and silver. Then we can give merchandise. So we can give fruits and vegetables. So we can give those things. So let's come to the animals first. Let's come to the animals. So what are the animals that we have to give? We are supposed to give animals which are halal, as well as that animal should not be under transport, or it should not be tied under cart, or it is not used for any work. It should be a free animal that I have to give it as a zakat. So what are the animals we can give? Especially we can give camel, we can give bull, we can give cows, we can give goats. So these are the animals. Even hens can be given. So these are the main animals that we can give it as a zakat. So now when you talk about zakat, now first of all, let's talk about the goats. Yes, the nisab amount will be applied to all of them, but you should understand the values, okay? So when you talk about goats, that means you should have at least 40 goats with you. So if you wanted to be eligible to give goat as a zakat, you should have at least 40 goats with you. That means that is the minimum quantity that should have. If you have 40 goats, you can give one goat as a zakat, but this goat should be 2 years old. This goat should be 2 years old. You cannot give a goat which is a younger goat. You cannot give the goat that is sick. You cannot give the goat that is old. So you should give a matured goat that they can take use of out of it. So that means if they have 40, they can give one goat which is 2 year old. So it should be a female goat. It should be a female goat where they can get what? Milk, or they can get use of that. So they have to supposed to take a he got milk. Right. Next one is, now say if you have 40, no, say imagine if you have 120. Now these values are very important to be remembered, because every time in your MCQ, every time in your question, they can ask you such questions. Okay. Right. Yes, yes. Yes, Amika. Right. So if you have 120, if you have 120, now think 40. No, see, some people they cannot understand the calculation is very easy. See, how many 40s are there in 120? You have 3. That means for 41 means for 120, that should be how much? 3 got. 3 got. So if they ask you 200, then you can give how much? If it is 200, you can give 4 got. So it's like that. You have to understand the calculation, right? So now you have, if it is 40 got, 1 got has to be given. If you have 120, you can give minimum 2 to 3 gots. If you have 200 gots, you can give 3 to 4 gots. If you have 400, you can give 4 to 5 gots can be given. But minimum here is 2, minimum here is 4, and minimum here is also 2. Right? So here you can give, that means they have given you a certain values. Now between those values, you can give them as a zakat. Right? Clear with that? Got the idea? Got the idea? Understood? Right. Okay. So now what happened? Next one is about cattle. So cattle is about 30. Now you don't want to write anything because already I have given you the short note, right? Did you all download the short note? Were you all able to download the short note? Yes. Okay, right. So I guess you may have downloaded the short note. Did you read the short note? Did you read the short note? Did you get an idea? Right. Okay. So now what happens? So you have the cattle. Yeah, sure. Sure, Shifna. You can give me a text in WhatsApp. So I will see and I'll send it to you. Okay? Right. Okay. So you have the cattle now. So when you take the cattle, the max, that means the minimum nisab is 30. For one cattle, that means if you have 30 cattle, you have to give 1 year old bull. You are supposed to give one 1 year old bull. Then if you have 60 or if you have 40 bull, yeah, you're supposed to have what, 40 kettles. So if you have 40 kettles, you are supposed to give one 1 year old cow. So you need to understand the two difference. If they have 30 kettle, you are supposed to give a bull. If you have 40 cattle, you are supposed to give a cow. So cow is female, bull is a male. Okay, no? Understood, right? Got the idea, right? Okay. Next one is when you talk about camels. So you need to talk about camels. So when you take camels, the minimum nisab for camels is 5. So if you have 5 camels, remember, if you have 5 camels, you are supposed to give one goat. You are supposed to give one goat. If you have 20 camels, you can give 4 goats. No, 5 camels, one goat means if you have 20 camels, you are supposed to give 4 goat. So then what happens if you have 25 camels? Instead of goat, you can give 1 year old, one year old she camel. You can give a she camel. That means a female camel can be given. Understood? So that's about animals. So you need to understand. We studied about God. We studied about cattle. We studied about camel. So if you know all these three calculations, that's enough. That means they do not ask you much questions regarding the calculations, but you should know who are eligible, who are not eligible, and you should know few questions related to the zakat. Right? Okay. And do you want the like for the science? I gave them what do you say? Exam paper structure should I wanted to give you as well? Do you want for Islam also? In a way, in a 4 months, how you can study? All right. Okay, I'll work on that. Within the week, I will send it to you all. Okay. Within the week, I'll be sending to you so you can get an idea. You have to give female goat only. Right. Most of the time they select female goat because they can take use. If it is a male goat, you can only slaughter. Right. I'll send you. I'll send you as soon as possible. I will try to send it with the analysis voice. Right. Okay. Right. Okay. Right. So now let's talk about grains. So what are the grains we can give? So if you talk about grains, you can give rice, you can give wheat. So you can give all these things as the grains which can be used as your staple food. Now, usually when you talk about grains, this grain should be useful to you, right? So, right. So what is the nisab for the grain? So if you talk about the grain, so the nisab for the grain with husk. So the nisab for the grain with husk is 1379 kilogram. That means if you have 1079 kilograms, out of this 2.5 percentage has to be given to the people. Then this is with husk, no? This is with husk. Then without husk, if you have the nisab, let's say 689.5, if you are giving without husk, out of this you are supposed to get 2.5%. Did you understand? So this is the nisab. When you reach the nisab, out of this you are supposed to get 2.5. Husk means, like this, they will have kind of a like without separating the grain and the part of the root. So that is, you call it as husk. Without that, already they have cleaned it. They have cleaned and they have taken. So this is with, this is without. Clear? So now when you talk about, the grain part, when you talk about the grain, always remember you are supposed to give like different varieties of, like, say for example, you have different varieties of crops, no? So you cannot mix and make it to the 2.5 percentage. You have to give separately with the amount that you have, right? And that should be belong to you, and you have to harvest it within the year. So if you wanted to give it as a zakat, right? Next thing is about fruits and dates. So fruits and dates also same like the grains only. So fruits and dates can be given. It should be pure grain. Yes, Samika, that should be pure grain. Next one is about gold and silver. Gold and silver. So the nisab for the gold is 10.5 sovereigns. We call it as sovereigns, means 85 gram MSG. That means gram MSG, right? Or we can say 20 miscal. You can talk about 20 miscal. So out of this, you have to pay 2.5 percentage of gold to the people. So not only for the gold and silver, as well as for the money also same. So money also should be the same amount that you pay for the gold and silver, right? So when you talk about it, when you talk about the jewelries and utensils, all of them have to be calculated, and some people will try to give which will not be used. So always remember, you should give something that can be used to the people, right? Right. Okay. So that is about the money, that is about the gold and the silver. So let's talk about the merchandise. So when you talk about the merchandise, also will be same as the money. So merchandise, money, gold, silver, all of them come same with the nisab. So it should be like, means if you are giving gold or if you are giving money, the money should be equal to the nisab of gold. Sovereigns means they have given you the amount. That means 10.5 nisab. No, if you talk about the sovereigns, I don't know to explain with the sovereigns part. I mean, like, I'm not that into the gold, but when you talk about sovereigns, that is, you call it as like pound wise. Did you understand? It's like pound wise. So that is, you call it as sovereigns, right? Okay, right. So when you talk about zakat, so these are the values that you have to remember. Now, when I explain you should have understood. Okay, there is not a big part in the zakat. So we need to understand. So some people told me this is the hardest lesson. So this is not a harder lesson. So you need to understand the values and how to calculate. But most of the time they never give you to calculate. They will just give you what can be the amount, 2.5%. So they can ask you what is the gold and the money, and what are the items that comes up with the same set of categories. So gold, silver, money, merchandise all come under same set of nisab. So we always need to remember that who are eligible to receive. So there are eight group of people who are deserved to receive the zakat. So who are those people? How do you remember this name? This part only you all have to remember. The names only supposed to be remembered with the definition. So first one is what? Fakir. So we remember fakir. So fakir is the poor person who has no source of income. That means that person. Now usually we say miskin. No. So fakir is the correct word. The people who usually come and ask you, beg people. So that means the people who faces poverty for a long period of time where they do not have any source of income. We call it as fakir. Next one is miskin. So miskin is, now usually these people they earn. They earn. Okay, so but the thing is they could not like cooperate with their basic needs. They could not afford their basic needs. Like the people who are in debt, they could not do anything. So those people are miskin. Right. Third one is Amir. That means the people who are working, zakat workers who are assigned by caliphs. So these people are like the zakat distributors, collectors. So those people can get the, yes, miskin and fakir are different. Okay. So amil are the people who collect and distribute zakat. These people are eligible to receive. Fourth one is muallafatul kulub. So muallafatul kulub means the person who newly convert into Islam. That means they have love towards the Islam. For them, we are giving it as a gift. So that is muallafatul kulub. The people who attracted towards the Islam, they convert into the Islam. So those people are eligible to receive. Fifth one is a rikab. So when you talk about amir means the people who distribute zakat or collect zakats from the rich people and distribute to the poor people, those people can take it. So our rikab is, now when you talk about rikab, now these people are like the people who are like they are like a slave. They are like slave. That means they could not afford their things, but they are like slave, and they are seeking for a freedom. So those things you call those people you call it as our rikab. The next one is sixth one, Garimun. Okay, so when you talk about Garimun, who are unable to pay their debt. So the people who are unable to pay their debt, we call it as what? Garimun. Then seventh one is Fi Sabilillah. So Fi Sabilillah means the people who fights for the sake of Allah, the volunteer people who fights for the sake of Allah, we call it as martyrs. So that means they fight for the sake of Allah. So those people we call it as fi sabilillah. Right. Then the eighth one is Ibnu Sabil. So Ibnu Sabil. So Ibn Sabil are the people who travelers who do not have enough amount of income. They do not have any destination, but they are still working on. So those people you call it as Ibn Sabil, right? So those are the 8 eligible people to receive the zakat. And also there are people who are not permitted. That means we are not permitted to give zakat to the people. Now think about this. Now say zakat is not permitted for some people, no. Fi sabilillah, who fight for the Islam. Yes, they are the people who fight for the Islam. So there are people who are not permitted to give zakat. So number one is slaves. You cannot give to the slave. Okay. And those who have enough wealth, can you go and give for the rich people? You cannot give to the rich people. So you're not supposed to give to the rich people. Third one, family of Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, you cannot give. Then non-Muslims, you cannot give. And now say I am the person who gives zakat. Can I give for someone who has already distributing zakat? No, I cannot give. The 8th group is Ibn Sabil. Ibn Sabil. Ibn Sabil means the people who travelers who do not afford, who cannot afford money to complete with their basic needs. We call it as Ibn Sabil. Right? Clear with that? Understood that? Got the idea? Got the idea? So that's it about the zakat lesson. So nothing much about the zakat lesson. You all have to get ready for the quiz also. Which part is confusing? Yes, Amina. Yes. Garimun means who are unable to pay their debts. Miskin means they could not afford their basic needs. A little bit different. Garimun is it specifically spoke about the debt people. Miskin is they don't have a like what do you say? Like they earn, but still they could not afford. That is miskin. Understood? They say like wage they earn for a day wage, so that means if you earn for a day, that is not enough for them to afford to give to their family or those things. We call it as what we call that as miskin or rikab. When you talk about a rikab, that means these people are slaves, like okay, they are in slaves and they are looking for their freedom, but still like they could not, like what do you say, they can go out and they can purchase, but still they could not do it. So that is arrikab, those people. But these slaves are like they could not come under anyways. No, they could not come out anyways, or they are under some other people, and those people are, what do you say, those people are putting them in trouble. So that is a different slave. This is a different slave. Understood? Yes, slaves are depending on others. This rikab or rikab is depending on others. They are like they could satisfy themselves. That means like say this housemaids and all people, no, you may have heard about it, no. So that means there are people like they work as a slave like a maid or anything, but they could not afford themselves. So like that we call it as a rikab, right? So there are several meanings for these words, right? Okay, so anyways, is there any doubts? Any doubts? Are you all okay with that? Right, so that's it about the zakat. Okay, what should you? Yeah, you should know everything about it. What is the next lesson that I have to do in the next class? What is the next lesson that I have to do in the next class? Any suggestions? So I can get prepared or I can make the short note for you as early as possible. Yes, Hajj and Umrah. Okay, right. Others? So Hajj and Umrah is okay, no? Hajj. Okay, Islamic qualities about caliphs. Okay, right. So we'll do Hajj and Umrah next class. Then after that, we'll talk about the caliphs or we'll talk about the qualities of Islam. Is easy, no? So we'll talk about Hajj and Umrah, right? I'll create the short note and Islam analysis for you as much as possible earlier. So then you can get the idea. So, right. So guys, so thanks a lot for joining today. And always I will be sending you the link earlier to register yourself. So in the form of registration only, you can work on with me. So then have a good day. Take care. Assalamu alaikum and have a good night and see you and thanks a lot. Okay, right. Quiz will be updated by the admin because I have given the whole responsibility to the admin. So they will update you that message as soon as possible. So have a good day. Take care. Yes, Zainab, can we give zakat for two groups of people at the same time? It's not a matter you can give. We have given it already. So you can give, not an issue. It doesn't mean that you have to give only for one set of people. The how much you have, you can give it to the others. Okay. Jazakallah and barakallah dear. Oh, thanks a lot, Amika. Which students are selected, Ikra? By Amika. Walaikum salam, Hania. So the quiz will be at 8, I guess. How many students are selected for quiz? Anyone can join quiz, no? Right, okay. I'll share you the short note and the model questions to the